What's up, everybody, and welcome in to another edition of Big Men on Basketball. It is Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. As always, we are here live every day at 4 o'clock on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. Now, I do want to let people know I am actually thinking I'm going to speak to the powers that be today, probably after this video, and I'm going to probably start putting together a Saturday morning show, kind of hitting the big Saturday card. So probably going to maybe do 10 o'clock Eastern, something like that. Now that football is kind of winding down, but I got to tell you, I'm kind of excited with bowls coming back because I've had a good college football season. It's been a fucking mess in college basketball, so I'm kind of excited that college football is back as of Friday. So that's kind of exciting, but I hope you're all having a great day, a nice hump day here. We got a pretty interesting card here tonight. A lot of interesting spots on the card. Feel free to drop what you're looking at tonight in college basketball there in the chat box. I will get to all of you in just a second. As always, make sure you hit that like button if you're joining the show. If you're watching us on Twitter or YouTube, welcome. I hope you enjoy this show. And if you're new on YouTube, checking out the channel for the first time, do me a favor, do everybody a favor, hit that subscribe button now so you never miss a Barstool Sportsbook video. This is where you're going to get Pick'em. This is where you get Pick Central. This is where you're going to get all the different Barstool gambling shows of the creators out there. So make sure you're checking in here every day. And I believe there may be a new show starting, from what I understand, by another content creator. So stay tuned. I was talking with him about that. So I'm not going to spoil the party, but that might be something coming here very soon. We'll get into the card in just a second. I got 6 games that I'm going to get into, of which 1 or 2 I have picks for. So we'll kind of throw around a couple of games tonight and get ready for another night in college hoops. I want to talk about last night, and then we'll get into comments, and then we'll get into the card. I lost again with Houston. Listen, guys, it's been a week of, to me, making the right selections, and they just aren't coming in. There's not really much I can do about it. I've talked about this. I'm here when it's bad. I'm here when it's good. For me, I'm on Front Street with what I do because I share my picks. But you look at that game last night with Houston, and you can look at scores, you can look at box scores, you can look at statistics, you can look at Ken Pomeroy, you can look at Haslametrics, you can look at Hoop Math, you can look whatever you want. The truth of the matter is, when you look at the game last night, the North Carolina A&T Aggies shot 33% from 2 and 24% from 3. They also missed 5 free throws. But you look at the fact that they got absolutely destroyed on the glass, which is normal. At one point, with 8 minutes to go, they were down 63-29. And you look at over the final 8 minutes, the Houston Cougars only scored 11 points. It's just kind of the same song and dance. You have these just 2-3 minute periods to just kill you. And you look at the one thing that Houston did not do well. Houston turned the ball over 17 times, and it led to 12 steals for North Carolina A&T. This is a Houston team that is very good protecting the basketball. This is a A&T team that doesn't turn you over. They don't steal the basketball. This is a bad team. Okay, but again, when your going isn't going, it just isn't going. It really doesn't matter how you look at it. I went in the second half, played the second half. That didn't come in either. Just really have been snake bitten in college hoops. There's not much I can say about it. But you know what? You keep pressing forward. You keep going after it. And look, I'll be here during the bad, and I'm going to be here during the good as well. And as I've said again and again, I'm not here for a short time. I've been here for a long time, and I've been doing this for a long time, and good and bad times come. So couple of interesting things I noticed last night. Very interesting game between Memphis and the Alabama Crimson Tide. How about this? If you had the under last night, it was 36-33 at the half. 69 points. You got an over-under of 152. 69 is a great place to be. You want to be under 75, and you have a total of 152. You were under 70. You're feeling very good. In the second half, remember, this did not go to overtime. These two teams combined for 110 points. Think about that. Crazy. If you had the under, I very much feel bad for you. It was just an ugly, ugly basketball game. You look at with 31 seconds to go in this game, it was 88-79 and ended up finishing 91-88. I think there were 12 or 13 points over the final 25 seconds. Just a disgusting game if you had an under here. These are the kind of totals you just don't want to see in the second half. Let me get to some comments here. I want to start at the top. Billy Butcher says, Brandon Walker called you out again. Yeah, I know. I called in to pick Central. I wouldn't say he called me out, but yeah, listen, that's his thing. He feels the need to be the work police he feels that if you don't go to the office, you're not working. Now, remember, he has never had these conversations with anyone else that's remote. For whatever reason, he just feels like picking a fight with me. And that's fine. I don't really need to explain myself to him. He's not my boss. And, I'm putting out other content that just because I'm not doing a pick central doesn't mean I'm not working. Okay. And let's remember as well, I was there the first day, September 1st. First day I started working at Barstool again. I was there September 1st. And guess what Brandon Walker did? Shut me out of pick central. So I'm not going out of my way to go on his show. If I'm there and he likes to have me on, I would love to go on. I enjoy talking about sports with anybody. I will gladly zoom in when I'm not in the office. But he doesn't want to make it easy. He makes it easy for everyone else and doesn't want to make it easy for me. That's on him. Nothing I can do about that. Al B, what's up, my bro? How are you? Lord Hobbs. Yeah, what are you going to do? Don't know why they won't let you zoom in. Yeah, it's on them. That's on Brandon. We'll have to figure that out with him. Peter Anastas, what's up? How you doing, my friend? You played Southeast Missouri against Arkansas State. Yeah, not a game I'm running to. I'm not running to bet that one. Not any interest there. Paul Strome says, go to Nadu, bounce back. Yes, absolutely. Yes, we need some Saturday content now that football is ending. I did the Twitter Spaces for football. Why not do a YouTube show for basketball? Billy Butcher, that was one we will be talking about. Brian Beck, what's up, my man? Thank you, brother. What up, Matthew? Yeah, well, listen, all you can do is put the games in and see how they go. Chai Picks, what's up? Thanks for the speeding the knowledge. Excited for Fields versus Hurts. Need Philly to win so Bears can have top 2 pick. Keep up the great work. All right, well, I guess that's where Bears fans are now. They're hoping for losses. That's fair. Seamus Shields, what's up? RO, what's going on? VGC, yes. All you can go down. When you're down, all you can do is go up. All right. Do you like the Terps tonight? I'll be in attendance, says Jenna Henderson. Yes, that's actually on my card here, Jenna. I'll be talking about it here. A tough game, but we'll break it down. RJ Tamilo, what's up? How you doing, buddy? But now that France won, I got money to work with. Well, good job. I figured they would win. Love the show, says Brennan. Thanks, bro. Thank you so much. What's up, Al? All Greens. All right. What else do we have here? All right. Let me get into the card here. I want to talk about some games. I want to start out with this one, Ole Miss and Central Florida. Ole Miss currently at Barstool Sports with a 6.5-point favorite. The total in this one is 130.5. You get SEC against AAC. And when we look at this game for both of these teams, this is a big game, right? This is a non-conference game. This is a quad, a one type of game. This is a game where if you're UCF, you need this one. You already beat Oklahoma State. You lost to Miami by 2. This could go a long way to helping you late in the season if you were on the bubble of sorts, right? And what do we know about Johnny Dawkins? Always a good defensive coach. Always a guy that has big hawking teams that are going to put a big man in the middle and say, stand here and don't let anybody come into the paint. We saw that with Taco Fall. They had a guy called Colin Smith a couple of years ago. You look at, though, this year, one of the problems that they've had so far is they've not been able to stay healthy. CJ Walker, their big boy, who goes 6'9", has not played recently. So that's obviously concerning, but it's still a spot for UCF where they should be able to have some defensive success here. Both of these defenses are very good, right? They're going to average, as far as defensive, giving up about 60, 61 points a game. Very slow plodding team, UCF. They really struggle at times in the half court to manufacture offense and are led by a freshman, Taylor Hendricks. Hendricks really good on the perimeter, probably the best player on the court. And Ole Miss is still kind of waiting for Deshaun Ruffin to be fully healthy. He's just come back off injury, only played, I think, about 10 minutes over the weekend in their last game. So I feel like for me, and what do we know about Kermit Davis and Ole Miss? They're going to throw out kind of a junk, wonky zone, right? They're going to go to you and say, look, we're going to let you shoot the basketball, make threes, right? That's something where I feel like UCF can have some success here tonight. They are a pretty good three-point shooting team and have fared really well so far to start the season. Hendricks has shot the ball well. Brandon Suggs has shot the ball well. Jalen Young has shot the ball well. And you're kind of waiting on a guy like CJ Kelly to kind of get going offensively from three as well. So I think there's some pass to offense, but I think for me, I kind of graded these offenses as kind of a flip. I think they're both kind of around 70, but again, that's against far worse competition. To me, this game kind of screamed like 63, 57, 65, 60, something like that. I think, gun to my head, if this one were to get to 7.5, I'd probably have some interest in maybe grabbing Central Florida here. I think this game can kind of shake out the way of both teams are pretty good on the defensive end. It's really going to be about Ruffin versus Hendricks. And I'll give Hendricks the slight edge. I didn't quite see 6.5, 7 points difference between these two. I'd have put this number more at like 4.5, 5, which is where it opened. Now, sharp money took this one up from 4.5, 5 up to 6.5. It remains to be seen at this hour whether we'll get 7 or 7.5. Which for me, obviously, I'd look for being the 3 possession mark. But there are some things here that kind of just strike me as this game is like a 4-point game either way. Two good defenses. It's really going to come down to what team can kind of rebound the basketball better. Both these teams are very good on the offensive glass. I feel like if you could somehow get something out of CJ Walker tonight, that would be great. I don't know his current status. I don't believe he's going to play. But hey, you never know with injuries in college basketball. Sometimes you'll see a guy, he'll just come right back and be ready to go. And he kind of comes out of nowhere. Look at last night with Parker Bjorklund up at St. Thomas. He hadn't played in a while, and he just randomly came back. So I don't think you expect CJ to play tonight, but if he does, that's just one of those, things you're going to get that are going to go your way. So, for me, like I said, I'm leaning on kind of just assuming that this game is probably decided within 7 points. Like I said, I had it around 5. I don't know if there's a ton of wiggle room. Obviously, you're going to give Ole Miss some respect being at home, SEC atmosphere, that sort of thing. But, one thing about Dawkins over his career is he has been pretty good in these like non-con, like neutral site kind of ish type of games. So non-conference games, he's been quite good in those preparation spots. So, something to keep an eye on tonight. Kind of a good game here. Cameron clearly says, imagine taking Western Kentucky. I don't know if that's like you're trying to be like funny or something. It's just kind of a stupid joke. Like, what are you talking? Yeah, imagine doing that. Imagine fading one of the worst teams in America. I mean, I think some of you guys try to way too hard to be funny, like someone like you, and you're just not really that funny, Like, I get maybe there's a spot where you lean on Louisville, but I guess you probably are someone that has gotten crushed at Louisville and you just keep playing them. You should think they're like better than they are. They're just not, unfortunately. I'll get to that game in a second, but I guess that was your attempt at comedy. It really wasn't too funny. So I'd probably just say stick to your day job, whatever it is. On to Bear Willie says New Mexico State plus 13. Yeah, that's on my card. We'll get to it here. Steven Sufair says the viewers need to stop tailing and dissect information for what it is. You provide great stuff. Tailing his for fish. Yeah, listen. All I can do is put out my games. Eventually, it'll kind of do its thing. The long haul, absolutely, the long haul. Little will people forget that if you watched last night, I told you Arizona was going to get to 100 likely. They got to 99. You don't ever hear anything about that. It's only about what they bet and didn't hit on. So again, take your own advice and do what you want. I don't really care if you win. I'm worried about what I do. And that's pretty much anybody that puts picks out. Nadu is more focused on crime stuff. Yeah, that's what it is. Believe me, buddy, I can do multiple things at once. I'm not a mental weakling. Love your content. Thank you, Ty. Appreciate that. Thank you. Louisville hasn't covered a spread all season. Haven't even come 7 points to covering. How do you take Louisville? You don't. And let's talk about that game. You don't. And I'm not going to tell you to do that. Here's what I will say, though. Western Kentucky is not a good favorite under Rick Stansbury. And that's something I'll kind of stand pat on. I don't, if you're looking at this solely as, do I trust Rick Stansbury? No, I don't. I've never trusted Rick Stansbury. He's not a good coach. However, this is a team in Louisville that, guys, I think they're not going to just turn a switch. They're truly a bottom 10 team in America. They're just not good. It's really about putting possessions together at this point. You know, this fan base is completely out on this team. Kenny Payne is not a good coach and has no ability to dissect a team, right? He can't put a game plan out there that's successful. This is a team that mainly one of the big issues they've had, and one of the reasons they've been so bad is their starts have been horrific. I mean, they are down in every game. In fact, you look at their games this year, they're 0-9. They have been only up at the half in one game. And in fact, every other game, they've been down by more than 5. And in most cases, 10. This team is always in a hole and can never climb out of it. Do I expect them to come out tonight against a really good team that, you know, is always a good mid-major? Do I think they're just going to come out and shoot the lights out against the zone? Now, listen, the way I'm running, they probably will. Louisville come out here and be 13 for 22 from 3 and win by 20. But as a gambler, I'm not going to bank on it. Western Kentucky is really good. They have, you know, Acott and Sharp and all these different guys. Davion McKnight, you know, great guard, former Mr. Basketball in Kentucky. This is a really good team. The knock on West Kentucky is Stansbury. He's not a good coach, and they've not been a good favorite over the years. I want to back them against bigger teams. Let's say a Memphis or a team like that, where they're going to be a 7-8 point dog. As a favorite, it's not something full game that I'm looking to run on. That said, they're a very good first half team. You know, they've been solid all year. And, you know, this is a game, regardless of where Louisville is as a program. If you're West Kentucky, your goal is to go in there and beat the fucking lights out of this team. You also look at cover margin, right? There's something called cover margin where it measures how close do you get to the spread, or do you blow your spreads out of the water. So let's say you're a constant 10-point favorite and you're winning every game by 20. That's a great cover margin. You have 10 points of wiggle room. For Louisville, it's the opposite. If they're 10-point dogs, they're losing every game by 23, 25, 28. That's a crazy cover margin. They're not even getting close to covering. So, to me, like I said, if you want to go and bet Louisville, you're probably some sort of masochist or something, and you like pain. You know, remember, out of 363 Division I teams, and Louisville is really bad. I mean, they're not like 180. No, they're like 355. They're real bad, man. They're down with some of the real bottom level teams in America. So listen, if someone out there wants to go and bet Louisville, that's on you. It's not something I would recommend. Marty was bragging that he's the king of college basketball. I was actually talking to him about that. He's done very well, I guess. Good for him. I invited him on the show. Yeah, I mean, listen, guys, some people will be good, some people won't be. I mean, it's how things go. What's up, Canes Nation? How you doing, bro? Chris Pelocha, you helped me cash the under in Wichita State, Mississippi. Oh, by the way, told you they wouldn't get the 50. They didn't get to 50. So, you know, it's all relative, guys. I mean, this show is not about, to me, the win-loss. It's about the kind of help and the things that I think you learn from these shows, right? What actually matters and what you can look at to help you become a better gambler. Because that's, in the end, what we want, right? Chip, what's up? Zax, what's up? Arizona was a good pick, minus 25. Yeah, look, they're very good. They're a great offense. What else do we have here? Any thoughts on Moorhead, Georgia Southern? No, I don't have anything on that one. Moorhead lost their best player last year. He moved on to another team. We got to get you to a Pirates game. Seton Hall? They've been hard to watch so far. What's up, Caleb D? Thanks for being here. I want to get to this one. Mississippi State minus 21.5 against the Jackson State. 130 is your total here. The Jackson State Tigers. And you know what this kind of screams to me of? Guess what? Wichita, Mississippi Valley. This is kind of a slightly better version. Wichita State is a slightly lower level version of Mississippi State. Mississippi State, guys, has been pulverizing these types of teams. And really what they've been able to do is they've been so good on defense. I want to put this into perspective, guys. Important to understand. In the, what is it? I believe 9 games that Mississippi State has played, not one team has had more than 55 points in any of those games. None. This defense has been suffocating. And how? Because they're big, they're athletic, they play very slow, and they're huge. They're a huge team. They just kind of overpower you. And we saw that at the Barstool Invitational. I remember Dave Portnoy said, they're just much bigger than Akron. And that's true. They are. They're a huge basketball team. And you look at tonight, I mean, this Jackson State team, I mean, I guess I just don't know where the offense is going to come from. I mean, they're very small. For them, it's been really hard to put possessions together. I mean, a team like Mississippi State is just going to fucking ball hawk you to death, man. I mean, they're not going to give you nothing easy. And this Jackson State team, I mean, you look at like opponents, I mean, played Indiana, put up 51 in an up and down game. Played TCU, put up 51. I got to be honest. I mean, if you're Mississippi State, you do exactly what any good team should do against a really bad team. Completely stop transition and just make them walk the ball up the court and try to create in the half court. For teams like Jackson State, essentially what it's going to be is they're going to take 20, 24 seconds off the clock and then just generally shoot a bad shot. I guess they could go off and shoot the ball well at times like Cam Woods did last night for A&T. But, I mean, you look at A&T, I mean, for as good as Cam Woods was, right? And he had 26 points in that game last night. For as good as he was, they only scored 46 points. To me, 54.5 is too high. I had this game at like 76-50. I think 54.5 is too high. I put this game a lot like I did with Mississippi Valley last night. The difference there is I think that total was 50.5 for Mississippi Valley. I mean, Wichita and Mississippi State are very similar. Mississippi State's just better than Wichita. So for me, I've got this one at under 54.5 on Jackson State. I look at matchups, and to me, this really screamed like a bad matchup for JSU. I mean, this is a group that I think is just going to kind of come out there and look at their opponent and think, my God, I mean, what do we do here exactly? Just not very big either. I mean, their biggest player, Trace Young, who plays regularly, I mean, 6'8". I mean, not gonna do much for you. So yeah, I have some worries in this game for the Jackson State Tigers. And keep in mind, I mean, I think for them, it's really just about, getting to their conference play. You look at their schedule recently, the last 8 days. I mean, they went to TCU and got crushed. Then Sunday they were at Akron, lost by 13. And now they're heading down several days later to Jackson, Mississippi, in a semi-home game to play a big Mississippi State. So, yeah, I don't think this one's going to bode real well for the Tigers. So I'm going to go under 54.5 with Jackson State tonight. Let me get to some comments here as we continue to there you go. I mean, maybe they do. And we definitely talked about him yesterday, a legend for sure. All right. Yeah, that's what it is, man. Gives me no edge. But hey, it works for me long term usually. But hey, listen, thanks for being here, Brett. Appreciate you adding to our listener base tonight. Yeah, I definitely have. Seeing a little line movement in the game, it looks like. Any thoughts about it? I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, again, guys, so what you want to do tonight is take Mississippi, or you want to take Jackson State team total over 54.5. You probably win. But let's keep moving here. Let's keep moving. What's up, Quinn? How you doing, buddy? I don't listen. I'm done trying to explain this, Chris. Let these people say what they want. I don't really care. I'm here putting myself out there, and people are welcome to say what they want. Luckily, that's the internet for you. If I let the internet bother me, I wouldn't be still doing this probably. All right, let me get through a couple other ones here. Maryland and UCLA. Someone mentioned earlier they're going to this game. I thought this one was tough. I mean, I kind of look at these teams kind of as a coin flip. I think they're both really solid. I think the obvious edge would be the fact that, Maryland's at home, right? I mean, they're playing in College Park. They're going to have that edge. That's a great atmosphere. And that gives, I think, you a slight edge. I also think they have some advantage really on the perimeter. I think they're really good at guard, and not to say that UCLA isn't, but I think they get some open shots tonight. I think there's a very small margin for error in this game, but I kind of look at this one kind of like I did against Illinois. I'm going to give Maryland a small edge. I think you might even have more of an edge than 1.5 at home. Maybe you put this at 2.5. I think for me, I don't mean to be kind of vague on this one, but it's a tough one. It's a coin flip to me. I don't think there's much value on it, but I would definitely lean on Maryland here. I think they're the better team, and I think they're, obviously they're at home. Not a game I bet, but definitely an interesting one. A lot of people will be watching it late. To me, it didn't really have much in the way of interest. Another game that, if you followed me, one of the things I have really done well this year is be up on this New Mexico State situation. I've known kind of when to back this team and when to not back this team. It's interesting because this whole thing with their off the court issue has not bothered them, right? I mean, they've covered the last couple of games as underdogs, but you look at kind of the situation they're coming to in this game. I mean, this is a really brutal spot. I mean, on December 7th, 7 days ago, you played at Santa Clara out in California. Then you traveled across the country to Pittsburgh on Sunday and played at Duquesne. You then got on a plane Sunday night and are back to California tonight to take on St. Mary's here in Moraga. Little gym, very slow, methodical team. And St. Mary's, I mean, I've talked about Randy Bennett, their coach. He's such a great recruiter, great coach. Just is really going to let kind of say to you, you're not going to do what you want to do, right? And that's, if you look at New Mexico State and the way they play, very ISO driven, right? It's creating individual matchups and hitting shots. And they've had some good shooting regression this year, very positive shooting. I get a weird feeling tonight that doesn't happen. I think they're going to kind of run into a brick wall here. I think this number is kind of telling you, hey, wow, this New Mexico State team, maybe they're good. They're starting to cover games. They're a good dog. Then you look at this game and it's, St. Mary's laying 12.5, 13. You look at the one game that NMSU stepped up and played kind of a really good defensive team. Cal Irvine, Russell Turner got beat 85-68. Really struggled in that game to get stops. St. Mary's is a group that are just going to put you into a washing machine. Their bigs are solid. Logan Johnson, the kids on the wing are really good. This is just a really well-coached team. I've heard a lot of people say they think this team can beat Gonzaga, and I don't disagree. And Mitchell Saxon down low is terrific. Dukas on the perimeter. Aiden Mahoney on the perimeter. Mahoney's been their best player, a freshman. This team just continues to use that pipeline to the Australia, the New Zealand, and Europe, and they just reload every year. And they're going to say to you, you're not going to do what you want to do. You're going to do what we want you to do. And we're going to be very methodical, and we're going to win games 75-60 because we just wear you down. You're not going to get a ton of possessions. And if you're not making shots, you're going to very much struggle against us. And I think that's kind of the whole of it here. I would definitely lean on Mary's in this one. Michael Meyer says, what about Queens and the points tonight? Yeah, I looked at that one. I mean, Queens is one of the better teams in the country against the spread. They're 6-1 so far. Remember, they're making their debut this year in college basketball. For me, though, I think ETSU has some good matchups in this game. I think my kind of issue with ETSU is their guard play has struggled at times this year. But I think once they can kind of get into their offense, I think they'll score quite easily. This is not a good Queens defense. They're also not a very good offense either. I kind of like the other side there personally. I don't really like kind of teams like this going on the road. And I know ETSU struggled a little bit. Plus, from what I've heard, I saw Jordan Majewski, a big time writer, wrote about the fact that Queens has had some flu bug issues. So I would kind of watch that. That's a little concerning. So keep that in mind if you're looking at that game. Yeah, I don't believe me. I don't struggle to pay rent ever. Again, I only bet half units on these games generally. So again, I don't worry about bad. Okay, bad happens. You have low points. But again, some of you people that don't gamble regularly and are just these people that think you're going to win every night, I can't help you, unfortunately. And I don't know if this show's for you, to be honest. I know that some of you just think you're going to come in every night and win. But I'll tell you this. Casinos probably love you because you don't win. That's not true. I have been in this business for years and I'm not leaving. So I don't worry too much about that. And the people that I'm going to have on the show down the road are well aware of that too. If I ever have Kelly in Vegas, I worked with Kelly in Vegas. I remember doing videos with her 2015, 2016. She's been in this business a long time. She knows how this business works as well. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is not a get-rich scheme. It is not an easy thing to do. This is a very hard thing to do. And our goal is to just try to help ourselves, And, I'm kind of not really going to have these conversations anymore. I do what I do. You can fade me. That's up to you. Good luck with that. And I hope you have success. All right. Thank you for watching the show, RJ Tamillo. Thank you so much. Good luck. Good luck with that. I don't have much on that one either way. Anthony Roy for New Mexico State's a baller. Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. They have a couple of really good players in that team. And I love them. I just think St. Mary's is kind of a different animal, but it wouldn't surprise me if they cover tonight. They're really good. They're a really solid basketball team. I would watch yourself with Roy though. He hasn't played for personal reasons recently. UAB team total. Yeah, I mean that's never a bad thing, is it? I mean UAB is really well coached. They play one of the fastest tempos in America, and they're very efficient. They have one of the best players in the country. Tonight they get a team in South Carolina who has not figured it out just yet under Lamont Paris. They've won a couple of games in a row, but this is kind of a clash in styles, right? Paris and South Carolina want to play very slow. UAB wants to turn it up. I would generally lean on generally taking UAB in these kind of spots. Tristan C says this is definitely the year St. Mary's can steal the conference. I agree. Salute to that. St. Mary's is really good always. That's what they do. What's your unit, if you don't mind me asking? 10 million a game. And then in half units, so for college basketball early, I'm only betting 5 million a unit. So yeah, I'm actually in the billions as far as losses. No, I don't disclose that. It's really none of anybody's business. I bet enough, and it's comfortable for me. No, games are not fixed. Are you only taking one pick? Yep, Jackson State under. Yep. Good. Enjoy yourself, brother. Enjoy yourself. Is a good time to buy low on NC futures? Yes, absolutely. Because I don't think they care too much. They'll be in the NCAA tournament. That's all that matters. What's your favorite pasta dish? For me, it is gnocchi. Pasta. I would go with rigatoni. Anytime I get a chicken parm or veal parm, it's always rigatoni. I got to tell you, I think, pasta's great. I think, obviously I'm never going to turn down a plate of pasta. Is it something that I'm running to eat? No, I don't eat pasta much. I've kind of talked about it. My diet's a lot different than it used to be. I eat a lot of the same stuff. But occasionally when I go out with a girl, I'll take her to a place I like to go. If I get veal or chicken parm, I will get some rigatoni with it as well. I'm a big sucker for occasionally having a rigatoni with some meatballs. Yeah, absolutely. Gnocchi's good as well, though. Absolutely. Is there any update on the Mike Peake situation? Mike Peake's not going to play again this season. Remember, he was shot in that incident. Throw in the fact that he's, got to get through this self-defense stuff. I mean, he ain't going to play anytime soon, if ever. What's up, Justin Casey? Thank you for watching, brother. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think guys, you have to remember this is what I'm known for, college basketball. So again, when I'm losing, it's like, oh shit, Nadu's losing, but it's probably not a good idea to do long term. I'll just tell you that now. And remember, this will happen because that's how it works. When I start doing well, remember Ed Murph and Dalton Collins and all you goofy people, make sure you're here. But what you folks do is you generally will just fade into creating another name and you'll be praising me. That's what you guys do. That's why you're the lowest form of earth on the planet. You don't have you have no morals or ethics. You're a scumbag, garbage pail piece of crap. That's all you are. So, we don't spend much time with you. Jeff, in the name of the holiday season, what is the best Christmas movie? Home Alone. Home Alone. Absolutely. Absolutely. Home Alone. Do I have any thoughts on Nevada minus 14? No, not really. I mean, they shouldn't have much trouble tonight. I mean, UC San Diego is not going to put up much of a fight. UC San Diego is pretty bad on both sides of the ball, but I don't know. I'm still kind of getting there on Nevada's defense. Not really a game I ran to jump into. USC Long Beach is kind of interesting. I don't really think Long Beach State, like when I look at back in a dog, right? So if it's, for instance, this game, you have Long Beach plus 12, right? When I look at a dog, it's, okay, do they do three things well? Do they turn the ball over? If they don't, do they shoot the three ball well? And do they make free throws? Now, when we look at Long Beach State University, they don't really do anything well. I mean, they turn the ball over a good amount. They're one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country, and they don't shoot threes well. They take a lot of bad shots and are very dependent on a transition. It doesn't seem like a great matchup to me. I don't love USC. I don't think they're a great team. But when you're backing a dog, if those things don't check out here, they're probably not worth looking at. Because as a dog, you're already behind the eight ball. You're already struggling with the team that's better than you. You have to do things that can keep you in a game. In a game, you can stay in a game with free throws. You can stay in a game if you make more threes than twos. They just count more for more. I mean, it's pretty easy stuff to understand. So, yeah, do I want Long Beach State in these types of games? No, I don't. But that's what you want to look for with this kind of stuff. All right. Who do you like to win the Mountain West? 3 of the last 8 undefeated teams left, I believe. Who do I like to win the Mountain West? I mean, I hate San Diego State. Colorado State, maybe. Wyoming needs to get healthy, get Graham Ike back. We'll see with them. Fresno's struggling. Nevada, I don't know. It's not a conference that I'm real interested in. No, I said a few times I like Jackson State team total under 54.5. Ask it again. I missed it. Caleb Clemens is K. All right. All right. Sean Russell. Jeff, I've been following. Haven't been on the plus side yet, but that's gambling. I'll stick with you and make the money in the new year. Love your insight. That's how it goes. That's how it goes, brother. That's how it goes. All right. Thank you, Dylan Pruss. I appreciate that. All right. Here's your Packers question. Would you take a future on Green Bay to make the playoffs? They need to win out. No, I wouldn't. No interest in that. And again, what are you really getting back on that? Maybe a little plus money. No interest. Unless you have a huge bankroll, those are not bets I'd be looking into. And with futures, I think I've often said, like, I don't understand why people waste so much time on win totals. I think it is a complete just discussion piece. I don't think they're actually quality wagers to make. Now, if you have 10 million in your betting account, then okay, so be it. Like if I'm Dave Portnoy, I'd be betting I would clean up on betting win totals. I would be betting like a ton of them at a certain amount. But I think when you are just grinding with content or just grinding with picks and maybe you're betting a few hundred a game or 100 a game, you're tying too much of your bankroll up in something that's going to take months to hit. And I've often said, like in college football, if you like a win total over, so let's say like over 7.5, why not just bet them to win the conference? They're going to be in the running likely. I never understood like taking so much of your bankroll and tying it up in win totals. Never really got that. And futures like the one you're talking about there. Alex Wander says 2018 BMOC CBB season, never forget. Yeah, I will always say that was the greatest. That was the greatest 6 months of my life in this. It was the funnest time I ever had putting out content. I remember I used to come on. I did a show just like this at 5:00 every day. I put a show out, and I would get. I mean, I might have had 1,000 subs on YouTube. I'm getting 800-900 people watching, and I was putting out 1-2 plays a day and just cranking them like every night. It was boom, boom, boom. You know, that was fun. That was legendary. It was. You're right about that. You remember as well. Yeah, that was the year, man. Yeah. All right. Listen. Yeah. I've never invested anymore. Yeah. So I guess the goal would be. Are you listening to yourself? How dumb can you be? I mean, you are a jabroni. That's a great name for you. So you're telling me it's a wise bet when you have very little bankroll to take most of the bankroll and invest it in a flip of a coin for 6 months. Because that's essentially what you're doing. And in essence, a lot of the time, you're laying stuff. I've seen people lay 140 on a fucking flip of the future. I mean, yeah, listen, Jabroni, let me guess, you were involved with FTX. I'm sure you were. Please don't talk to me about investing. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't mean to be arrogant, but it's like, my God, dude. I mean, just listen to what you're saying. It's not even, it doesn't even make sense. Do I have any opinion on Florida, Ohio? No. Somebody came in my Twitter Spaces and was very high on Ohio last night, but I don't think it's a vintage Ohio team, and I'm still waiting on Florida. I think I like them, but I'm still waiting on them. I changed the time to 5:00. Well, I didn't want to do that because at the time Walker's on at 6, and I kind of wanted to be at 4 because there's nothing really going on. Who's going to win the national championship in NCAA football? Georgia. Can Ohio State win it all in college football? Yes, they can. Yes, they can. Will they? I don't think. I don't let them get to me. Do you really think I let these people get to me? I sleep like a baby every night. I'm about to leave. I'm about to go see my mother and father. I'm going to have a nice meal with them, catch up. It's been a while. And hang around with my family. My someone close to me is not feeling well, and it's always good to see your family. So, yes, we're having a great meal tonight. My mother called me and told me what we were having, so I'm looking forward to it. Okay, so shut up then. You obviously now understand what I'm saying. Thank you, Matthew. Always. Well, let's not go Jack. We want Jackson State to struggle to get to 40. That's what we're hoping for here. Is your workday over already? Yeah, essentially it is. And when I come home, I'll go back to working. I'll be writing a blog that I'm working on that is going to be, to me, the most important blog I write this year. So I'm always working, man. I'll be working tonight at 10, 11 o'clock. But I know if you had my job, you'd be working 22 hours a day. Well, here's the thing, though, you don't. So get back to your cubicle. When did the trend start to reverse? Was Houston a sign of the times? No. You're welcome to bet against them next time. I won't be. Con Hall 15. Thanks, bro. Appreciate you. What's up, Mike? Listen, Mike, we're always going to do that. That's how it works. We think I'm going to quit tomorrow? Not going to happen. All this basketball talk, but what is the pick? Listen over. All right. Listen, Brett Collins, you can come in here and talk all the shit you want. Don't come in here and talk about my father ever. You'll be fucking removed so quickly, and I'll slap you in the fucking head on the way out. Are you having meatloaf? No, I'm not having meatloaf. A little barbecue chicken tonight, one of my favorites. Thank you, Casey. There's no need. Jackson State, under 54.5. When do you find time to study all the games for the next day? Usually do it late at night or in the morning. Thank you, Tanner. Keep up the great work, Jeff. Appreciate all the work you do. Thanks, brother. Stackhouse says Dave is going to be keeping a log, Jeff. Playtime is over. Can't latch on to Rico. Listen, Stackhouse, I don't need your opinions, nor do I ask for them. I do my content, and I know you don't enjoy crime content, but I'm one of the biggest crime history podcasts out there. So I'm sure Dave knows what I'm doing. And remember, I work there, not you. So don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm here every day doing this show. I'm here doing, you ever see the viral videos I'm putting out? I've latched on, created content there. Don't worry about what I do, please. Some of you folks worry way too much about what I'm doing, what other people are doing. None of your business what I'm doing. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. But I bet it would you would love that though if it happened, wouldn't it? You root on my downfall. You are so jealous of someone like me that you root for me to fail. But you know what? Every day I wake up and I just stick it to you every day. How the fuck does he have success? Well, guess what I do? And you're watching me. You're here every day watching me. That's the biggest thing I love about all this. It kills you that I'm doing what I'm doing and you're not. It fucking kills you. And that's the fucking success I have. And that's why I love it. Because the success I have, you fucking yearn for. What up, Aria? Good to see you, man. Thanks for watching, bro. Always Paco Healy, one of my longtime boys. What's up, Paco? How you doing, brother? It's the internet. It's the internet. Do I think Penn State can be a tourney team this year? With the way they're shooting, yeah, they can be. Absolutely. With the way they're shooting, if they keep this up. Do I play player props? Nah, not really. Not really. Who's your Heisman winner? Caleb Williams. Love you on the dozen. Yeah, that was a good it's been fun. I love doing the dozen. Get him BMOC always. He says not really. Well, but you're here. You're here preying on my downfall. You're the scum of the earth. Yeah, but that's what these people do. They're soulless, depraved losers. That's what they do. These people have no soul. So it never ceases to amaze me. Yes, hit that like button. Absolutely. Appreciate you. Tonight I have one play. Jackson State, team total under 54.5. If they score more than 55 and they're the only team to score more than 55 of Mississippi State this year, I don't know what to say. All right, I don't know what to say. Tomorrow, Jim Root will be with us. So that'll be fun. Always good to see Jim Root. And I'm talking to several people at Barstool. They're going to start joining us. We're going to kind of open it up a little bit, kind of get some different people on here and try to talk about straight gambling. Thank you, Caleb D. I appreciate that. Big fan, bro. Is UConn going to win the Big East? I'm thinking they're going to for sure. Maybe. You never know. Maybe our paths will cross, bro. All right, guys. I'm out of here. You guys enjoy your evening. Thank you for watching, as always. And I'll catch you all again tomorrow, same time, same place, here on a Thursday on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel. I'm here every day, 4 o'clock Eastern, going over college basketball and whatever else we have going on, as always. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow here on the Barstool Sportsbook YouTube channel.